On today's show, the LA Clippers win their 9th straight game at Intuit Dome. What is making Intuit Dome such a fortress, and how were the Clippers able to get what ended up being a comfortable win over the Portland Trail Blazers? Going to be talking about it all on today's Locked On Clippers.
You are Locked On Clippers, your daily Los Angeles Clippers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, sir. You were locking in with the Clips. Thank you for making Locked On Clippers the first listen of your day, your team every day. I'm your host, Darian Vaziri, born and raised in LA and in my 20th season as a Clipper fan. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DimeDropperPod and subscribe to my own YouTube channel, Dime Dropper, for even more Clipper content. A video of my experience at the game on Tuesday night will be out, and I was blessed thanks to my friend Jason, who was kind enough to lend me an extra ticket in the second row. So that was a perspective that I just don't get very often and haven't gone often in my life. So that was awesome. So I can talk about the game with a different lens in this episode. And this episode is also brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is the best place to get great deals last minute on tickets. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. And of course, Locked On Clippers, free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell, and you're also signed up to the Locked On Clippers daily newsletter. Your boy writes it. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com, and start your day with the all-new free Locked On Clippers newsletter. Let me know how we feeling in the comments, Clipper Nation, about this W. A 127-105 win over the Portland Trail Blazers. We do have some bad news to talk about at the end of the show with Terance Mann's injury, but we have some great stuff to talk about in regards to some of the performances from our role players, including two lefties that are really rolling right now. Actually, three. If we talk about James Harden, and I guess that's where we will begin is with our backcourt. In my 20 years as a Clipper fan, I don't think we've had a better scoring backcourt than this. Chris Paul and JJ Redick is surely not a better scoring backcourt than James Harden and Norman Powell. And you cannot just put highest scoring statistically and go with that, because different eras, it's so much different to score. It's not the same in terms of how easy it is to score now relative to other eras. So you can't just compare raw PPG. But eye test, Norm and James Harden, I mean, that's firepower. And you get two guys that complement each other well, because one is quick off the catch, doesn't want to pound the ball much, doesn't want to really have the ball much, wants to work quickly, catch and shoot. And James Harden wants to kind of, make it all happen. So they're a very good complement for one another. And Harden does a very good job using his amazing passing ability to get the ball to Norm right when he's coming off the screen for those left to right curls that he's amazing at, and scored, I think, the first bucket of the game on, and hitting him in the pocket when he's coming off screens or just on the drive and kicks. So that has been a match made in heaven in terms of, since Harden got here, the lineup that was the best last season was the big three, Zoo and Norm, the Powell Rangers lineup as coined by the Clips and Dip guys, the former host of this show. This season, you're seeing kind of a carryover from that with James and Norm and the way they're complementing each other. And in this game, I mean, it was no different. When you talk about Norman Powell, you talk about a guy who just came back and scored 28 points in the first game and then scores 30 points in 25 minutes on Tuesday night. Like, this guy's been superhuman this season, or maybe this is just Norm and we didn't know it. Maybe we were all sleeping, and by all means, this is the biggest part of the season that I am just blown away. James has done this before, but at his age is what makes it more impressive. But we saw what he did last year, so I'm not, as I've been saying on the show, I'm not surprised at what James is doing, really. I think there's a lot of people, though, in the national media and just fans around the league that were really sleeping on James Harden's ability to just consistently still create good shots in pick and roll, like better than almost most players in the league. You know what I'm saying? Almost every player in the league. There's only a select few guys that in pick and roll are better than even this James Harden. And he's consistently producing good shots for us. And, you might be saying, like, we do need a power forward. Like, if we're talking championship, Kawhi plus a power forward, now we're probably back in the conversation if we're getting the Kawhi that we all, have seen in the past when he's healthy. But right now, having Derrick Jones Jr. at the 4, it's providing pretty solid spacing. We got one big that's usually setting the screens, and then everyone's spaced. And James Harden, he can really make plays with that. He can really get guys good shots with that. So in this game, you started seeing that. You even started seeing later in the game, and I'll talk about it more as we talk about kind of like the sequences of the game and like how the game went chronologically. But at one point of the game, James Harden, he had been making so many good decisions on the ball and making great passes that just kind of, put the defense, compromised the defense. And he got like triple teamed at the top of the key, like vintage Harden style. Or like as if he was like going crazy scoring the ball and just leaving guys open, and we made them pay. So very solid game from him. But Norman Powell, like, I don't know. Who's your player of the game? You can put it in the comments. I'm probably going to go with Norm just because his efficiency is off the charts. So with James, he had 23 points, just one rebound, and I do have something to say about that later. 7 assists for him as well, which obviously led the team. 1 steal. He did turn the ball over 4 times. He was 6 for 15 from the field, 3 for 10 from 3. So a lot of threes for him. And again, as I talked about in the last episode, if there's an emphasis being put by the coaching staff on James Harden shooting 10 plus threes, I said the same about Paul George. They're very good 3-point shooters, but I'd rather have them just play basketball and then it comes naturally. Because to me, when James Harden gets 2 feet in the paint, that's the best thing for the LA Clippers, personally. And he's been doing a really good job of that the last couple of weeks. 8 for 9 from the foul line for him. He was a team high and a game high plus 27. So again, arguably the player of the game, been the MVP of our team this season. And he is showing a lot of people that did not. What I was saying was the national media, a lot of guys were kind of sleeping on his ability as a player still, as if they didn't see the playoffs where he was fantastic in those 2 wins. But Norman Powell, 30 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, did turn the ball over 3 times, shot 11 for 15 from the field, and was 5 for 7 from 3, like just picking up right where he left off. And some of these shots, even though they're off the catch, they're not like wide open. Like he's got a hand in his face on some of them. And Norm gets very good elevation on his shot. It feels like he's not even seeing some of these contests. I mean, it's been ridiculous this season. But yeah, I'll take 30 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists on that efficiency in 25 minutes. Are you joking? Our backcourt, I'm telling you, best scoring backcourt. Sam Cassell and Coutinho Mobley were very good, though. I can't lie. I still haven't met Sam Cassell. I'm happy I checked off Coutinho Mobley on the bucket list. I still haven't met Corey Maggette. That's a real problem. I got to fix that. But, yeah, that's the best one I could think of. Baron Davis and Ricky Davis. I'm joking. Right? Am I tripping, comments? By the way, if you're a Clipper fan from before me, please put the backcourts in there. And let's go LA only, by the way. LA only. But James Harden, Norman Powell, for me, I don't know if there's been any better backcourt in terms of scoring the basketball. Their combined ability to score the basketball. If you want to count Reggie Jackson and Paul George, I mean, see, come on, Reggie. I love Reggie so much, but Paul George and Reggie over Harden and Norm, I don't know about that. So, yeah. That's my takeaway, but also the takeaways, they were fantastic in this game. The Clippers won 127-105. They blew it open in the third quarter. How did the game go? Why was it even in the first half and then in the third quarter and in the beginning of the fourth? We just took them out and made it so that it was party time at the end of the game. Going to be talking about it coming up. I got to tell you a little something about Game Time. Game Time is the best place to get great deals last minute on tickets. I've used Game Time multiple times, one time for the NLCS, one time for opening night for the Clippers, and it worked out great for me. Highly recommend. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. The new feature called Game Time Picks makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON NBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. I got to tell you a little something about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best daily fantasy sports app on the market. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in over 30 states, including California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this sports season. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday each Tuesday. Think Steph Curry will get more than 5 3-pointers next week? Cook up hot takes with your friends and win real money this basketball season when you and your crew run your game on Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. All right. Clippers winning it 127-105. We've now won 8 out of our last 10 games. We've won 9 straight at Intuit Dome. And how about this for a little fun fact? Posted by the Clippers themselves. Visitors have shot 72.3% from the free throw line at Intuit Dome. The lowest visitors free throw percentage in the NBA this season, and we would be the lowest in 9 seasons. Ladies and gentlemen, the Intuit Dome, as we are starting to get more comfortable, and I can't lie, in the beginning, didn't feel like home just because, well, no, it's always felt like home, but in the beginning when you move into a new house, it doesn't feel like home yet, right? You know how it goes. If anyone's ever moved, you know how that feels. You always are like, not necessarily attached to the old home because we wanted to move, but it's like we built our, routines. We did things there. You know what I mean? So we have to make and find our new routines and the new parts of the stadium that we're comfortable with and the angles that we like and whatnot. And memories being made as well. As fans have started to get more comfortable, you're seeing the team is also starting to get more comfortable. And now it's becoming a fortress. 9 straight wins. A real home court advantage. And the seats haven't been, we've only had a couple of sellouts. 3 sellouts, I believe, this season. This game, far from it. 15,583. Capacity is like 17,300 something, I believe, for Clipper games. I hope, though, people start taking notice of what's happening here, which is a very gritty team that plays hard every night, sets a tone defensively. And for a while in this game, the Blazers, were, knocking down shots. And they ended up shooting 51% in the game. 51%. We, however, shot 55%. and they shot 34.5% from three. We shot 51% from three. So we were lights out. A lot of that was Mr. Norm. And then the Brewmaster. You know, at this point, if you are saying that Amir Coffey, anything other than Amir Coffey has been good this season for the Clippers, if not great this season for the Clippers, you're just trying to be different or like weird or hating, because his efficiency has been unreal, and you cannot tell me he's a bad defender. In fact, he's had a great ball denial. He's had moments where he's overhelped. He's had some bonehead fouls. Okay. He's a plus defender for me. His size is switchable. You don't attack Amir Coffey. I've never seen that. The Brewmaster. The Folger Soldier. Build me up, coffee cup. This guy was not... I was, again, second row, privileged. You know what I'm saying? Taking it all in. Amir Coffey's jump shot, he was standing in front of us a lot, like on that right wing, because I was right behind him on that right wing. Every single shot this guy took, it looked like it was going. Like, it really looked like it was going. From every angle, even when I was sitting in the wall. He's on a heater right now. And, I mean, can't say that he hasn't consistently seemed to improve that three-point shot. That pull-up mid-range when guys are attacking him, when he's attacking closeouts, when they run him off the line, I've always liked those shots. I think that those are keeping the defense honest. It's putting in that second layer to your game, because we know Amir likes to get to the cup. But just so impressed with the Brewmaster so far this season. And, I mean, it's great when the homegrown guys are playing well like that. Amir Coffey had 19 points in this game, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, and shot 70% from the field. 7 for 10. And how about 5 for 7 from 3? How about that? He's been exceptional. I'm very happy for him. So let's talk a little bit about the sequence of the game, right? We had Chris Dunn guarding Anthony Simons, and then Derrick Jones Jr. on Shaedon Sharpe, Zoo on DeAndre Ayton, Norm on Jeremy Grant, and James Harden on Toumani Camara. Now, obviously, we're going to switch 1 through 4, but what I thought was interesting was that in the beginning of the game, we had Zubats hedging on the pick and rolls with Simons to take away that pull-up 3. So, again, we've seen Zubats lately have some moments in games where he's gone to hedging and recovering. He did it against the Wolves, right? Where he wasn't letting Ant-Man fully turn the corner. And that, I was saying, maybe he's evolving as a defender. So we're seeing a little bit of that, and I thought it was working really well because Derrick Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn, they're so good at seeing that next pass, and they're athletic enough to like get a hand on that next pass when they're seemingly, at a far distance, from the receiver. But they just cover ground so quickly, especially Derrick Jones Jr. because of his length. The other side was in drop coverage. DeAndre Ayton, of course. And by the way, again, Zoo, I don't get it when it comes to Ayton. He just doesn't finish well against him. It's very frustrating. He had 8 points, 10 rebounds. It wasn't bad by any means, but he was rough for some stretches. It just felt, I don't know. We won the game, so I'm not going to complain much, but it just doesn't feel like the best version of Zoo ever against DeAndre Ayton for some reason. 8 points, 10 rebounds for him, 2 assists, 2 blocks, a turnover on 4 for 8 shooting, so he was efficient, but 0 for 2 from the free throw line in 28 minutes. Ayton had 16, but he only had 3 rebounds, but he shot 80%. I don't know. Is that getting outplayed? Let me know in the comments. I'll take that from Zoo. I just think, I want to see him get a double-double every game. That's the thing, but I'm not going to complain when we win the game. And without Zoo, imagine, even though I actually liked what Mo Bamba was doing in this game, he got his hand on the ball several times. Yeah, 2 steals and 3 blocks. And hit a 3. That was nice to see. 3 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocks, 1 turnover on 1 for 2 shooting, and made his only 3 in 17 minutes from Mo Bamba. So solid impact there. But look, if Zoo wasn't playing and it was Mo Bamba and Kai Jones as our center rotation, that would not be good. We'd struggle to win games, period. So, credit to Zoo, credit to Amir Coffey, the brewmaster. Fantastic performance. Coming up, though, going to be talking about another lefty that's been doing his thing. And then Terance Mann, unfortunately, injury update on him. I got to tell you a little something about Chime. We've all been there, spending more than we should during the holidays. I mean, it is the time to get generous, so it's natural that you overspend. Take control of your finances by using a Chime checking account with features like no monthly or maintenance fees, fee-free overdraft up to $200, or getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. Learn more at chime.com/NBA. Chime helps fees with fee-free overdraft up to $200. Your next deposit will be applied to your balance. Get spotted on debit card purchases and cash withdrawals. Eligible members get complimentary boost to temporarily increase a friend's spot me limit. When you give a boost, they can boost you back to temporarily raise your limit. And here's how it works. All you got to do is set up a direct deposit in your Chime account. After a qualifying direct deposit of $200, Chime will notify you to enroll in Spot Me. And with an activated debit card, Chime will spot you up to $200 on debit card purchases and cash withdrawals. Your next direct deposit is applied to your negative balance. Enjoy the holidays while keeping your financial goals on track with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/NBA. That's chime.com/NBA. Chime. Feels like progress. Banking services and debit card provided by the Backcourt Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. members FDIC. Spot Me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Direct deposit timing depends on submission of payment file. Booster available to eligible Chime members enrolled in Spot Me and are subject to monthly limits. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs and for OTC withdrawals. All right. So, I can't lie. I was so enamored with where I was. And when I'm sitting that close, it's like I can't even pay attention to the game half the time because I'm just like, I can't believe I'm here. I'm like, look how tall these fools are. Like, it's insane. It's like, it's just like seeing guys that tall that can move like that. Just like, you just see the NBA players just like athletically that 1% of the world, if that. Maybe even less. But in the third quarter, I was, checking out the beginning of the third, like honestly, the majority of the third quarter, I was checking out some of the lounges. Honestly, in hindsight, I wish I'd gotten more food. I was just like, I kind of want to go back to the game. I want to see what's happening. But what I ended up doing was I ended up coming home and watching the whole game again. So, yeah, filming this pretty late right now, but got to get it out for Clipper Nation. You already know how it goes. And when we win the game, it's always better. Now, we're winning the game because of guys like Jordan Miller. This guy is looking great. He gets to the paint with intention. He does a great job of drawing contact. He goes into the defender, doesn't shy away from it. He gets fouls. He finishes strong. He keeps his balance as well as, not as many as, I don't want to say any guy that I've ever seen, but like he does a great job of keeping his balance off of even one leg and decelerating, going from fast to slow, stopping on a dime. Like, it is impressive. In this game, he also showed a little bit of playmaking chops, but I will say that the minutes we actually went with the total bench lineup. I said that Ty Lue can't do that. We have to have one of Norm, Zoo, or Harden in the game at all times. But he literally did go with a lineup of Jordan Miller, Nico Batum, Terance Mann, Amir Coffey, and Mo Bamba, and the shot creation was, kind of suspect. I can't lie to you. We struggled to score. It was like Jordan Miller and Terance Mann kind of playmaking, but the Blazers were switching everything in that unit against that unit because they were not afraid of Mo Bamba posting up or anything. So we were just playing one-on-one basketball, and like Jordan Miller probably is the best option of those guys to create his own shot. When James Harden came back in, he kind of restored some order, and I thought the way the first half went, we did a good job defensively in the first quarter for like the first half of it, and a lot of that was Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr. like being active and getting steals, but they eased into the game and were starting to hit shots, and I thought James Harden defensively wasn't very good this game. He was just kind of caught in no man's land, losing sight of his man at times, and like an offensive rebound would occur as a result. And there was just several times, besides the third quarter, where I thought he had some really solid shot contests. I thought in the first half he was pretty lazy defensively. But again, great game from him. Don't want to take anything away from him, and especially with how much he's doing offensively. The trade-off is obvious and positive. As far as the reason why the Blazers got in the game from our side of things, besides the fact that they were making shots, I thought our help defense was kind of weak. Like there were just moments where we needed to take away the layup and give up the three. Because look, the highest percentage shot, even analytics will say, is a layup. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take that away first. As far as the best moments for me, not in terms of like the momentum of the game, but just what I like seeing is when we can create steals, when we get stops, and we translate defense into offense, and got guys like Derrick Jones Jr. getting out and running. There were moments in that second quarter where he had like multiple dunks in a row, and I was like, by the way, if he had had that dunk, that poster in the second half, oh my God, that would have been one of the best dunks in Clipper history. And I'm saying Clipper history with having seen DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin for their entirety. That would have been up there. Because, the way Derrick Jones can get up is crazy. Like that weak side cut for a lob that James Harden's been finding him on all season, he throws it to the sky. Like Harden just throws it up there and he just goes and gets it. And, he's been amazing, hasn't he, Derrick Jones Jr.? He's really been so good. How about this game? 15 points, 4 rebounds, and assists, 2 steals, 6 for 10 shooting, 1 for 3 from deep, 2 for 2 from the foul line in 25 minutes. 60% shooting, double-figure points, great defense. What more can you ask? Gotta love it. Both teams did shoot well, though. So, even though the Clippers' defense was good, Blazers ended up shooting well, but we will absolutely take that blowout, 127-105. And what changed the game? I'd say, it's funny because it was a 72-70 game with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. And then we went on an 11-0 run. It began with a Norm right wing 3. Then Harden got fouled and got to the line for 2. Then Harden had a mid-range when they were in drop coverage. Then Mo Bamba hit his 3. And then James had a step-back 3 he created a lot of space on. So just like that, we went up. And a lot of that was James Harden, right? I didn't mention his name the most, so I think he started just kind of imposing his will in the game and getting us good shots every time down with his aggression, right? And that huge 3 at the end of the third quarter gave us a lot of momentum. First quarter, we outscored the Blazers 36-31. Second quarter, we broke even, but that third quarter, we outscored them 28-20. And we outscored them 64-47 in the second half. So we did keep them under 50 in that second half. And one thing that was very key and interesting was that Ty Lue kept James Harden in to begin the fourth quarter. And his intention was, let's just end them right now because James is getting us really good shots. He's in a groove. And guess what happened? He left him in. James got triple teamed at half court, threw a behind the back pass right in front of me. That was beautiful. Made the extra pass. Jordan Miller hits a 3. Game over. See you later, Portland. James can rest for tomorrow's game against Minnesota. Ty Lue, gamble worth paying off. Ty Lue and the coaching staff have been amazing. Like, let's not knock them. Let's be a little bit reasonable with Ty Lue. All the guys that criticize him, he's been killing it this year. Jeff Van Gundy. See, people are going to now say it's all Jeff Van Gundy. It's not Ty at all, which is nonsense. The players are the most important thing. Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr., Zubats. By the way, Norman Powell off the ball defensively, I thought he was pretty good in this game. Alert. But those guys set the tone. Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones and Zoo. Zoo on the interior, them on the perimeter. And then Terance and Amir are just part of the show in terms of that, having good defenders. And Nico, by the way, oh my God. Seeing Nico Batum up close, it's so evident how I can totally see why people don't hit shots over him. Like, his arms are so long. Like, when he jumps, geez, you got to really put arc on that thing to get it over him. He's funny, too. There was one time where Toumani Camara was inbounding the ball right in front on the sideline that I was behind. And Nico was counting. He was counting the 5 seconds. And he threw the ball in. And I think it's because they're friends. They play on the French national team. And Nico was like, ooh, like when he just got it off. And there wasn't a 5-second violation. So that was pretty funny. And also, I wanted to give even more context. We weren't fully in drop coverage when we were in drop coverage. So I was hearing Mo Bamba say ice on the screens. And when you ice screens, that means forcing a guy baseline, right, or to the sideline. So forcing him to one direction. So it's just, basically the big is still in drop coverage. But what that does is you want to shift the defense over so you can take away that next pass on the rule, right? Force the skip pass and force them to a sideline or a baseline. So I thought that was just interesting that I got to, hear these things. Yeah. So you send the ball handler to the baseline away from the screen. You know what I'm saying? It's basically taking him away from the middle. So and we do such a good job of having the weak side rotate and take away that pocket pass. That's really why we do it. So it's just great to hear that extra context. Because for all we know, all the times I'm saying we're in drop coverage, the intention could be we want to ice the screens. We want to force them baseline. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, big win. Nico Batum, great deflections as well, and that offensive rebound tap. He did it again. A donut, but he had 4 rebounds and 3 assists and a block. 1 turnover. 0 for 1 from the field. His only shot was a 3, but he was a plus 14. Not coincidental. Terance Mann, unfortunately, they're saying he has a fractured middle finger, which absolutely sucks. Let me just double check that. Yeah, fractured middle finger on his left hand. That's so unfortunate. I saw it happen. I wonder how many. That might be a couple weeks, I would think. What does that mean for the rotation? Man, it means more Jordan Miller, I hope. But that's unfortunate. So get well soon, Terance. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DimeDropperPod. Subscribe to my own YouTube channel, Dime Dropper, where a video of my experience in the second row will be out. And Locked On Clippers is free and available wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you sign up to the newsletter as well. LockedOnDaily.com for that. Comment also. Any of your thoughts. The age-old proverb continues. Let's get it back against Minnesota. Go Clippers.